If you lead a really busy life, there might be a need to find stillness. And that's what this practice is all about. So grab a pillow and a blanket and let's get started. Hello, welcome to Yoga for Stillness. And this might be at the exact right time for you with winter setting in and the weather turning colder. If you live in a colder climate, being able to be all snuggly on a blanket when you practice yoga and just being able to slow down means everything to make your week go really well. And this is on a Saturday, so hopefully the week ahead will be much better if you begin your week like this. So we're going to start with a blanket. If you don't have one, pause the video and go get one, and a pillow. We're going to need it functionally and for relaxation as well. So we're going to begin in a cross-legged seat with our hands on our knees, and we're going to close our eyes and be still. Now make sure your back is nice and straight, as if your crown is reaching for the ceiling in your room. And we're going to take deep diaphragmatic breaths. So if you feel like you need to help it along, you can place your hands on your stomach to make sure you're filling your abdomen with air. So breathing in and out. Close your eyes, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now we're going to move our pillow off to the side so that you can easily reach it. And we're going to go to all fours. So you don't have to be exact in your stance. You don't have to make sure that your hands are properly placed or that your knees are in the right spot, because we're going to lift that right leg and bring it up and in. Now you want your foot to go as far up to create almost a 90-degree angle between your calf and your thigh, but I can't do that. I'm 61. The fact that I can get my legs here at all is quite a miracle. And I'm going to use my pillow. That's why I suggested you have a pillow or a rolled up blanket up underneath the hip to give some support. You want to try to make sure that your back leg is nice and straight and it's in line, and that your right foot that is up is flexed. You want to try to keep it active. Now we can sit just like this, or you can reach up with your hands in prayer position. Or what I like to do is to move my hands forward and go down to my forearms, interlace my fingers, and place my head on my hands. So you do what feels best for you, either upright with your hands in prayer position, upright with your hands serving as little kickstands to keep your balance, or bending over with your eyes closed and your head resting on your hands. Out of those three, we're going to take 5 deep breaths. Breathe in and out. 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 Now we're going to rise up, and you want to try to move from center. So engage your abdomen as you raise your body up. Your arms just serve as a support. The movement should come from your abdominal wall. We're going to move the pillow out of the way so we can move to the other side. So kick that right the right leg back. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So lifting out with that left leg, bringing it up and in. Make sure your back leg is nice and straight. And use your rolled up blanket or a pillow, if you need it, to support that left hip. And again, the same 3 postures are available here. We can be propped up like this, kind of like a cobra, or hands in prayer position, or for complete stillness, reaching forward with our hands, interlacing our fingers, and then resting our head down. And 5 deep breaths. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One last time, breathing in and out. And again, from the center, you want to initiate that move up from your core. Now we're going to move our pillow over to the side, and depending upon the size of your blanket, you should have a little space available on this end and a little space available on the back end. If you don't, you might want to fold that blanket over, because we're going to go into down dog, just one down dog today. This is a resting posture. So we're not going to step out. We're not going to go into 3-legged dog and into a low lunge. We're truly doing this because it's good for circulation. And it's really good just to get that stillness that sometimes we can't find in other positions, because we feel like we're in a precarious position, that where we could lose our balance, or where something is just being stretched too far and it's a bit uncomfortable. This should be a great spot to just be still. So breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now we're going to lower our knees. Straighten out your blanket if you folded it. Then we're going to cross our feet and move back into a seated position, but we're going to turn to the side. And with your left foot, you want to bring that in first, and then your right foot in front. Now, if you feel like you can't get your legs all the way to the floor, it's fine. You'll just sit like this, or maybe move back into a cross-legged position like we did at the very beginning of the practice. But what we need to be able to do in order to be very still and get a little bit of benefit in our circulatory system is that we're going to reach forward with our hands, like I did in pigeon. We're going to get our forearms to the floor. If you feel like you can't get your forearms to the floor, just have your hands out in front of you and then reach your chin to your chest. So that way you'll get a really good stretch in the back of your neck. If you're able to go all the way down, you're going to interlace fingers like in pigeon and rest your head on your hands. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths. Breathe in and out. 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 And from center, engaging your core, we're going to rise up and switch to the other side. So now the right foot comes in first, and then the left foot in front. And either having our hands out like kickstands with our chin reaching for our chest, or reaching out with your hands and going down onto your forearms, interlace your fingers, and lower your head to your hands. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And from center, we're going to rise back up. Now I'm going to move my pillow up to this end of my mat because we're going to be using it very shortly. Now we're going to turn sideways on our mat, put our feet out in front of us. Now you can have your feet up like this with your knees bent, and you want your legs to be hip width apart so that you have space in between your knees for your head. And we're going to reach up behind our head and into the sky, and folding over your knees, you can reach forward to grab your toes, your ankles, the sides of your feet. And then we're going to rest our head over. Now, in time, you might be able to lower your legs and go into a full seated forward fold. It's not necessary. You can keep a generous bend in your knees, but keep your feet flexed and have your hands as close to your feet as you can get. And we're going to take those deep breaths. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Allow your breath to move you, breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. One last time. Breathe in and out. Then from center, rise back up to seated position. Make sure that you're in the center of your mat, and we're going to lower slowly to our backs. You can interlace your fingers and keep a steeple grip. You can point your toes to help give you counterweight or counterbalance. And lower slowly to your backs. And if you had your pillow in the perfect spot, your head is now resting on your pillow. Now we're going to hug our knees into our chest. We're going to grab the left knee and raise our right foot to the sky. And you want to have your foot flexed. The left foot doesn't really matter. You can have it pointed or flexed. But we're going to move our feet in a circle to give our ankles a really good stretch. It should feel super good. Then we're going to lower that right leg slowly. Almost as if you're still, even though we're moving our bodies. Then we're going to take our left knee and we're going to cross it over. So you can move your hips a little bit to the left and cross that left leg over, and you can rest your right hand on the outer edge of that thigh. With our left hand, we're going to bend that right leg and reach back to grab that foot. The position I was in gave me a bit of a cramp. So our legs are kind of crisscrossed. We're getting a really deep stretch in our pecs, a great stretch in that right leg quads. Now, if this is much too much, just keep that right leg straight. But this is a good deep stretch. Taking a couple of breaths here, breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Now, if you're holding that right foot, let go of it gently. You don't want it to be a slingshot. So just let it go and stretch out. We're going to move back to our backs and we're going to hug the right knee in. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So left leg up to the sky. We're going to circle. You can move them in the same direction. You can do them in counter direction. But you should get good stretch in the top of your feet, your ankles and the sides of your ankles, and a bit in our calves as well. And then lowering that left leg slowly. And you might notice the point where your abdominal wall kicks in. And that helps to remind you that your center is there to support you. Even though it's in the middle and it's not our feet and it's not our backs, having a strong center and a strong core helps to support us as we go through life. Now, exactly what we did on the other side, we're going to twist, and you can shift your hips and then bending that left leg and grabbing your toes. And you might get a slight cramp. in the hamstring. So be very gentle. Don't try to force it. Try to get your leg bent as much as you can before you try to grab those toes, or just keep your legs straight. We're going to take a deep breath in and out, in and out. Now we're going to let go of that left foot. Take a full body stretch. So you want to reach out with your feet. You can spread your toes apart to where you can see between them. Reach your arms up above your head. Circle, do wrist circles, ankle circles. And know that having a slow yoga practice is just as beneficial as doing something that is super fast and involves a lot of muscles. In this short period of time, we've given our body a great stretch, engaged our center, and engaged surprising other muscles as well. So we're going to lift up and end this practice and seated. So if you have time and you just feel like you need a little bit more movement, you can go into a quick little flow or move on to another video and do a full practice. But I hope this is a nice one that is good for stressful days, stressful weeks, where you just want to give your mind a break and find stillness in the day. So I'll see you again later, and until then, bye.